Welcome. Happy Friday. I have been observing something in couples, and I wanted to just speak about it, speak to it. This is an extremely shifting, transitional time in humanity, something we've never really gone through at this level. A grand shift in consciousness that's affecting everything on the planet. And relationships are really, I think, it's probably one of the hardest spaces to go through this evolutionary process is in relation, right? But if you've been with someone for a very long time and you're used to a way of being with each other, and now like everything is in chaos, nothing is known. And I find it can be very challenging for those in relationship with each other in partnership. Maybe when you first got together, you had very similar goals and expectations, and you were really on the same wavelength and what you wanted from your lives together, from the relationship, your future goals. Maybe it was more clear and you were very aligned on the same page with all that. And now we're all being really asked and challenged and invited to step up within ourselves, to really take a look at ourselves, become more present, more embodied, and really heal the many layers of trauma that we have maybe for a while gotten away with not looking at. And now we really can't get away with not looking at it because it's coming to the surface one way or the other. And I've mentioned in some other videos that in a way we're being forced to deal with it in a way, to look at it, an invitation to heal it, to go deeper, to understand, to bring compassion, to bring love, to bring healing so that we can bring ourselves to the next levels of our evolution. So can you imagine in a relationship when if two people are going through it, whether they know it or not, and if there's a family involved and the whole family's going through it, and you may not be aware that you're even going through it, but you may start to notice changes in yourself, and maybe you're starting to clash more in your partnerships, in your connections. And I just want to throw out there a sense of, if you hear this, if this resonates for you, stepping back and trying to step back a little bit and see a bigger picture going on here, that you both, or how many ever there are involved, are going through big changes. And in a way, you're rediscovering yourself. So it's almost like everyone is going through a midlife crisis, even if you're not midlife. I would, kind of relate it to that in a sense. So if both or all the parties involved in a partnership are starting to change a little bit, there are lots of things are coming up. Maybe they're starting to rediscover themselves in a different way. We're actually being asked to be more present. And so as we're evolving, as our frequencies are shifting, as things are coming up, maybe we're clearing and healing, our frequency is shifting with that. So what used to work no longer works for us, including connections, relationships of all sorts. You'll be shifting out of friendships. You may need to have some space from family members. You may be called to move somewhere. You may be called to change your life entirely in terms of jobs, housing, all that, right? So just like a heart out to those in relationships, in couples, in a partnership. if you can just step back a little bit and understand that you're both going through some big shifts, and you may both need some space to rediscover yourselves again. First, within yourself, you need to rediscover yourself. Figure out who you are now. Is what you used to like, it's what you used to do, is what you used to, who you used to hang out with. Is it still really working for you? Do you still have the same goals, the visions, the same dreams? Chances are they're all changing quite a bit, and you're needing some time to figure out this new you, to discover this new you, to wake up every day and be like, who am I today? What is it that I really want to do? Does this really bring me joy? Or let me try this something else here. This might bring me more joy. Whatever it is, it may be quite an experimental time for a lot of people who are just starting to go through this process. So instead of necessarily saying, oh, we need to split up, we need to separate, we need to divorce, this isn't working for me anymore, which may just be the case. But before you get there, you may want to just step back and have a real honest and authentic communication and discussion with each other, and just give each other a little space and understanding that you're going through some shifts. You may need some space, you may need some time away from like the expectation of the other on you, while each of you kind of figure it out and figure out where you are in yourselves. What is it that you are discovering that's new? What has shifted? What has changed? And having real honest conversations with your partner about that. It takes some vulnerability, and I really encourage it, if it's a safe partnership, to do that, to allow that vulnerability and that openness and that communication where you're being really honest with each other and be like, hey, I'm going through these changes. I'm not really sure if I have the same goals and visions that I used to. This is actually really inviting to me over here right now. I'm finding that I'm really enjoying this instead of this, or the goal I had 5 years ago is no longer. So have some curiosity about each other, and it's an invitation. It could be really fun and beautiful to relearn about your partner. Show up in presence together each day as if they're new, as if you've never known them before, and get real curious. Ask them more questions. Why do you feel this way? Or what is it you're going through? Or share with me what excites you now. Or, we used to love doing this. Do you no longer love doing this? What else do you love doing? So, I think we get into a bit of complacency in relationships and partnerships. And there is a bit of a taking for granted at some point. And so I would encourage us just across the board to show up in presence as much as you can with your partner. And allow each other that space to shift, to change, to evolve. I mean, ultimately, if you love them, if you truly love them, you want the very best for them, right? Their highest expression, their highest timeline, if that's what they want for themselves. And so we may need to back off a little bit, with our ideas of who we thought our partner was, with our expectations of what we want from them, or how we want them or expect them to show up in the world or with you. And not to take it so personally, like, oh, this person no longer feels the same way about me, yada, yada. We can go into a lot of stories about that, where in fact they just, need some time and space to rediscover themselves and reconnect to a new level of themselves, so that then they can actually authentically connect to you as well. Because while they're reconnecting to themselves on a different level, they may not be fully embodied or fully connected. So and how are they supposed to do that with you if they don't yet know, right? It's like at this in-between space. There's a little wobble room there. So give them some time and space until they are able to shift into that next chapter of who they are, and then share that with you, and share that with each other, that journey. It could be really exciting, actually. It could add extra spark if you allow it to, be a little new. Remember, hopefully you're friends first and foremost, and as friends, you know, share with each other, talk to each other, be honest with each other, get curious, ask questions, hold space, love and compassion for each other. And it's definitely not the other person's responsibility to do this for you. You know, you need to figure out these things in yourself. You need to take that jump and that responsibility to address unhealed trauma, to address the changes in yourself, whatever it is. If you can, try not to project it onto the other person, and understand that you're just going through a shift and you don't need to blame everyone around you who's maybe not shifting with you at the same level or same time. You know, I just invite us to hold a greater space of compassion in ourselves, not only for us and our journeys and our shifts, but for the other in your life, that they may also be going through that too and not know how to navigate that. And it's kind of new for everyone. So we're all figuring out new tools of how to navigate, right? And there's a lot of resources out there to help us. So find one that resonates for you. I highly recommend that. Find one that resonates for you. There's so many different tools. It's just a matter of putting a little effort into figuring out what really works for you, what you resonate with. And remember to have a little patience with it too, if you can. You never know what's going to happen or how someone's going to shift. It's never a given. And in this situation, you might be pleasantly surprised. There might be new doorways for your partnerships that you've not explored before, that maybe is actually really beneficial and exciting for you if you're both committed to it. Like anything, it takes commitment first to yourself and your journey, and then to the other as well. I wanted to share that with you today. It's an observation. Take what resonates for you. If you have any comments or questions, please put them below. If you enjoyed this topic, please let me know. Subscribe. Put your notifications on. And if there's other topics that you're curious about that I feel I could have a voice in sharing with you, please also put that below so that I may know. But I do want to be sharing more of these observations and insights that I have, just seeing sometimes a bigger picture of things. All right, I hope this helps somebody out there. Have an incredible weekend. Thank you.